What's up, Asendit Nation? This is Chris from Asendit Gear, and I'm so excited to introduce you today to TJ Wong. I just want to give you a brief story. I met TJ up on the local trails, one of our local mountain bike riders, and his story is so amazing that I wanted to spend some time and tell it to you and hopefully help encourage you. Most of you that follow Asendit Gear know that Asendit Gear is all about living fearless and defying gravity and sending it. And TJ is the perfect example, living example of God's grace and how good miracles are today. So without further ado, TJ, I want to take it over to you and just kind of have you go over, you can go over when we met and just kind of tell us your story about what happened to you.
Right. I don't even know where to begin my story. We'll just start by the date. It was August 8th of 2018. You know, I don't normally ride by myself. For whatever reason, I believe it was because I had a new wheel set and I was excited to try it out that day. I was trying to find whoever could go, but there was nobody that responded to me that night, so I ended up riding by myself for the first time. But fortunately, I remember I ran into some people on the trails that I knew that day, and then we ended up riding together like the second half. And when we got to Jumping Mouse, which is your baby.
Yeah, I love that. I love that trail.
I must say that was my favorite trail ever. But yeah, it was just like a normal day. But I do remember that it was very hot that day.
Really?
Yeah, that day there was some fires somewhere up. I can't remember the name.
Oh, so it must have been really hot.
It was.
Yeah.
It was pretty warm that day. I dropped in Jumping Mouse. Took the jumps that I normally do for, you know, hundreds of times.
Yeah.
But for this one jump that I dropped in, I went up. That's all I remember. I went down. Apparently, I was out. And I can't remember 2 weeks of my life.
Wow. So you were riding, and all you can remember is you're doing your regular thing on Jumping Mouse, and as you took a jump,
yeah,
that's the last thing you remember for a few weeks.
I snapped out.
Wow.
I don't even remember the landing until somebody showed me a picture of it.
So TJ, this is the jump that it all happened at. I know that you know what was going through your mind. I know you said you blacked out, but at this point you were about to hit this jump. What happened?
You know, I wasn't thinking. You know, it was just a random jump that you usually do hundreds of times. You know, I just took off, and apparently that's when it happened. I landed. I was gone. Unfortunately, the people that were following me, 2 of them were nurses, and I think one of them was a doctor.
Wow, what a blessing to have somebody like that in your presence when something like that went down. Now, can you explain what exactly happened to you at that time? What was it called?
I had a brainstem stroke.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a hemorrhage in my brain, and I had bleeding, and it happened right where nerve 3 and 4 crossed.
If I'm hearing this correctly, elaborate a little bit more. So what they were saying is it was good that it happened out here on the trail, and why is that?
That's the thing. It was never good to get a stroke.
Right.
But
in this case.
But in this case, it happened here. I was very fortunate that it did happen here. It happened with the people that was around me at the time. It's the timing of it. It couldn't have. I feel like it couldn't have happened if it was going to happen at a better place.
Right.
Because I could have been driving or something else.
Which could have led into either your fatality or someone else's fatality, right?
That's a big thing.
Yeah, so what another blessing.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely. So like I said, I truly believe that it couldn't have happened in a better place. So with that, my eyesight was affected a little bit from it. I see double in a few areas. That's why I'm wearing the glasses now.
Yeah.
But I must say, I mean, I went from a measurement of a 6, now I'm all the way down to 1. So as a result, I have to wear these prism glasses now because of my double vision.
And what's the prism? What's that do for your eyesight?
It helps with the double vision.
Okay.
Because I do get double vision at certain gazes, is what they say.
Because I see there's some grids on that lens, but that lens is clear.
Yeah, it's basically just a stick-on to help with that. Otherwise, I would have to buy lenses. I was measuring a 6 when it happened initially.
Yeah.
Now I'm all the way down to 1.
Yeah, and can you describe what's the scale system mean?
It just means the higher the number, the more double vision you get.
Okay, so we want a low number.
Yeah, you want. Okay. So I'm at a 1, so I'm as close to 0 as I can be, right?
So that's phenomenal. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm trying to just manage my life,
Yeah.
live the way I have been, trying to get back to some normality, and I'm still here today writing.
Well, that's a perfect example how God's grace is so good, and I know that was important to you to share.
Yeah.
That it's not just you, but through God, this miracle has been basically come to fruition. Because just a little backstory on this injury, it can affect your speech, your heart rate, your breathing, your swallowing, basically everything that we do to basically survive. So a lot of people, when they have these, the outcome is not nearly as great as TJ. So that's what's amazing about his story, is what he's endured and how he's overcome his fear. And the glory of God is the fact that he has healed him. And he just shared with me this morning, he didn't even have surgery, which in by itself is amazing, because many times we have to go in there and relieve the pressures. And the aftermath, when you've kind of come through in the hospital, what exactly happened? So you had a nurse and a doctor with you, and then they called for medevac you out, or how did that?
Yeah, I
how'd you get
had
out
to
of
be
there?
flown out of the trails
Uh-huh.
that day because of that. When I crashed, the guys around me, they were asking me questions, and
Right.
apparently I was answering them with silly answers.
Right.
And they couldn't get a straight answer from me, and that's when they decided, we gotta call somebody. I don't know what I did to deserve this.
It's amazing. Let me tell you, there was no coincidence that nurse and the doctor were there, because with those instances, timing is everything, and getting you to medical help right away is really important. So let me tell you, it was God had put those people in your path.
And the thing is, there were fires around the area, so there were EMTs around the area.
Right.
So when we called, apparently the guys can see the EMTs, but they couldn't get to me.
Right.
So that's when I had to be flown out of the trail that day, which I do not. I wish I remember my helicopter ride, but I don't.
Yeah. That's amazing, TJ. And that's one of the reasons why when I met you, that it was really touching. I don't know if you remember on the top of the hill, we kind of, I got a little choked up,
Really?
just because of the fact that, you represent everything that Asendit Gear is all about. And, we need more positive encouragement, and we need more positive revelation that God is still here and God is still powerful. I do believe that people watching this can, even, however many people it affects, can say, hey, I can overcome these things. Whatever your situation is or whatever ailments, God can heal you, and I can overcome them, and I can keep moving forward and living your life. And I remember the words you said to me. You said it was kind of like you were reborn that day.
It's my second birthday.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. August 5th is my new birthday. It's very easy to get discouraged with what happened or what's happening to you. But my main goal was I never looked back.
Right.
When it happened, it happened. Okay, this is what I have now. This is what I have to deal with. What do I have to do to move forward? What do I have to do to keep doing the things that I would want to do?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. It's still a struggle for me every day with my eyesight.
Right.
But
But you're overcoming and
as
just
close
getting through it.
to it as I can be, I
Right.
believe. And like I said, I'm just very thankful that I can still do this, that I'm still here, I'm still around.
And you're enjoying life.
Yes.
Another really cool point that I want to bring out too is something that you told me was the support from your wife, and that is so key, isn't it?
It is. I gotta tell you, man, she held down the fort.
Yeah.
When this whole thing happened. I don't know. I can't imagine life without her.
I know that really touched me too when you said that, because we're all God believers here. Miltonators behind the camera right now, but we all take our family really highly, and we'll all say the same thing. Our wives totally are our rocks, and the reason why we are who we are as men. And I thought that was really touching when you said that. That was one of the first things you said, was how much your wife just pulled the weight and supported you. And I thought, man, that was amazing.
She did. Honestly, I couldn't not have gone through what I'm gone through the way I did without her.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to share with others as far as like this experience that you've gone through, and kind of anything like that you've like pulled from this experience, and you say to yourself, hey, guys, this is what you guys need to pull from this?
That's a good question. To me, as I said earlier, with my story, it's not exactly my story. It's God's story. It's
Right.
how an undeserving guy, a regular person, can, I don't want to say beat stroke, but survive it.
Right.
You know, because I honestly don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm here. You know, and if that could be an inspiration to anybody going through anything in their life right now, it doesn't have to be through mountain biking, it doesn't have to be any sport, whatever it is that you're going through. I just want to be an inspiration to you that, you know, whatever you have, you can do something with it. On my Instagram, I say a quote from one of my songs that I like, which was, if I had no voice, if I had no tongue, I would dance for you.
I just want to add to this that God has a purpose in your life, no matter where you're at in your life, and at any time, whatever situation may happen to you, God has a purpose for your life, and He will get you through. So I wanted to give you some Asendit gear garb. Got you a shirt and socks and hat, and it's the Fearless line. And really, you epitomize fearless, and that's basically what Asendit's all about: is living fearless, defying gravity and sin. And TJ has done that through the grace of God. We want to thank everybody for joining us, and stay tuned for more encouraging stories.
Amen.
And God bless you.